Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of April 2021. If this is your first time catching one of my readings, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe, because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I will be using my Trippin Waite Tarot deck. Last month, so many of you enjoyed the Groovy Waite Tarot, so this deck is by the same creator. I love it. It is another fun, beautiful, vibrant deck that I think a lot of you will enjoy. I've used it here on the channel quite a few times, so some of you may have seen it already. I will clarify the readings with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and then Cancer, I will close out your reading with an Angels of Abundance Oracle card. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right to it. All right, so what do we need to know for the sign of Cancer? As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of April 2021. All right, Cancer. Interesting, because you've got a lot of King energy here, which is that very masculine energy here, which we have with the King of Swords, King of Pentacles. All right, so I'm feeling like this. Now, the simple thing I'm getting, but sometimes when it's too simple, it can throw me off. But really, but the thing is usually when things are very simple, that's usually the right answer. So I'm seeing here that there's an old relationship, someone from your past, Cancer, someone that you do have a money connection to, either reappears and it's not a good situation, or you just kick them out, right? Like let's say it was an ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the situation was. And you said, okay, we'll try it again. But then you realize all the reasons why it didn't work the first time, and then you're like, no, I'm done. However, now you wasted time and energy with that, knowing that it probably wasn't for the best. That's what I'm seeing with these two cards here. Now, that's the simple answer, right? But for those of you where that doesn't apply or that doesn't resonate, this also talks about a past situation. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a situationship, but it just means there's something from your past that reappears, and there is a financial money tied to it. So it could be maybe an old medical bill, like you thought, okay, that I paid that off, it's done, taken care of, and then something shows up again and says, oh no, you still have an outstanding balance. And that could be the situation for some of you too, right? And so, it shows up, you're like, what the hell? And you have to deal with it, right? It could be an old tax bill, an old credit card bill, I don't know. It could be something. It's something that's not finished from the past, and it resurfaces, and you have to deal with it, and there is a financial tie and a financial connection there, okay? So as we move into this new month of April, Cancer, pay attention to any notices, emails, letters that come in the mail, because it could be, and the thing is it could not even be a valid thing. Make sure you tell these people Okay, you need to validate this bill before I'm going to pay it again. You know, they always say, you know, if something goes to collections or whatever, make sure you have them prove that the bill is valid. And I don't even know why I'm sharing this. I guess some of you are going through this, and I'm feeling like I need to let you guys know that yes, don't just allow someone to tell you, hey, you owe this money and so you need to pay it. It's like, no, you need to validate that bill to make sure that I do owe the money before I do anything. Okay, so that's what I'm picking up with this here. Next we have the Tower. Now this is, I've been saying this in every sign's reading this month. The Tower has been coming up for every sign. And the reason why I think this is coming up is because there's, the Tower in the reverse talks about a literal deconstruction or dismantling of something. When it's in the reverse, it means that the worst has happened and now you are in the rebuilding phase. So this is actually a very good card when it shows up in the reverse, because it talks about that, you know, you've already done the breakdown. You've already done, you know, the groundwork for this. And now you are in the phase of putting together something bigger, better, greater, stronger, whatever. So this Tower card, like I said, has been significant for all of us as a collective. I think that so many of us are kind of rebuilding our lives as we move through all of these global changes that so many of us are experiencing. And we're trying to put the pieces back together in a way that makes sense for us. We all want to go back to normalcy. You know, we want to make our money and do the things that we want to do. But, you know, we have to do it in a different way. And I think so many of us are adjusting to that, you know, especially financially, right? There's going to be changes coming to our money, how we earn money, how we spend money, how we invest our money. Next, we have the King of Swords here. Now, the King of Swords is that cutting away energy, really cutting things off that need to be cut off. The King of Swords has no hesitation. He makes no excuses. He doesn't apologize. If something needs to be gone, you can better believe that it's gone. I love that King of Swords energy, especially for you, Cancer, because you're not playing any games. If something doesn't resonate, something doesn't belong in your life, whether that be a person, thing, situation, job, whatever the case may be, you have the mental fortitude to take care of that once we move into this first week of April. King of Pentacles is telling me that there is some more you need to learn. Financial education, financial literacy is all about the King of Pentacles energy. There's something you don't know as it relates to your money, to your investments, to your business, to your work. Make sure you spend some more time researching, reading books, taking classes, asking questions, seeking out a coach or a mentor, whatever the case may be, because there's some things you don't know and you really need to bring yourself up to speed on that, because it will cost you if you don't. You need to know what's going on. If you are starting a business, make sure you seek out, you know, legal help so you can make sure everything is set up correctly. Finally, we have the Nine of Wands here. The Nine of Wands means you're moving past feeling discouraged. That's a very nice card, because, you know, we've all been a little discouraged and frustrated recently, especially with, you know, like I said, the things that have been going on globally. But just know that, you know, encouragement is here for you, Cancer. Things are getting better. It may take some time. It may look different. But when all is said and done, you're going to be okay. And things are going to improve for you. And life is going to get better. All right, Cancer. All right, let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, ooh, and abundance. For the month of April 2021. All right. Ooh, well, Cancer, as we move into the second week of April, get ready. Things are going to be really, really good. All right, so we have the Magician. Now, this is that creative alchemist here, right? So you start making things happen, and they start paying off for you in a very big way, not only financially, but also in your sense of self. right? You are a creator. You are this divine developer, I like to call it. The magician is all about using whatever he has, whatever tools and resources are at his disposal. He uses those and he puts them together and he manipulates whatever it is to create something beautiful, something magnificent, something profitable. All right. And I have a feeling that's the energy you're going to be in, Cancer. So get ready, because, you know, you have the mindset, you have the talent. You're going to use that to really benefit yourself and the people that you love in a financially blessed way. So that's exciting. The other thing that's exciting is the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. This means that you're not penny pinching. And for some of you, this means that you no longer have to go without because you have something here that needs to be done. And trust me, I've been there. I know what that's like to have to decide, you know, do I buy gas this week or do I buy groceries? And you need both, right? But you can't get both. And I know what that's like. But this card tells me that you are no longer going to be in that place, Cancer, because you have been doing the work. You have been changing your mind. You've been doing the internal work to really make sure that you are no longer in that place. So like I said, you're doing some creative work that is very profitable and that puts you in a much better place financially. Also, we have the Seven of Pentacles here, which means that, you know, you may be seeking out some new opportunities. You may be seeking out some new ways to make money. You know, not that you're totally dissatisfied or unhappy with where you are, but at the same time, some of you are going to be looking for more, you know, and there's nothing wrong with wanting more. You know, multiple streams of income. Maybe you just want a job that offers more benefits. Maybe you want more perks. Whatever the case may be, like I said, not that you're dissatisfied, but you want and deserve more. And so you're looking to have a more enriched life. And whether that be, like I said, through your work, through your relationships, you know, through your finances, whatever the case may be, you definitely have your feelers out and that you are looking to experience and have more. We also have the Three of Cups here, which means the celebration is on the way. For some of you, this could be personal. For some of you, this could be professional. But it looks like you are going to be gathering and celebrating something. I do believe that this is going to be celebration in something that does have a financial connection for you because of the context of our reading. We are talking about money. So I do think that you'll close a big deal. You'll make a big sale. Maybe you'll sell your house. Maybe you'll buy your first house. But there is going to be something where you can celebrate. And like I said, there's definitely a financial tie to it. There's definitely going to be a financial win in your future. Finally, we have the High Priestess here, which means you are totally in alignment with your higher self. This is a beautiful place to be because you are being divinely guided in every step of the way as you pursue your own journey of personal wealth and personal finance. Your money's growing, your mindset is expanding, and you really are, like I said, in true alignment with what it is that you're trying to create and the life that you're trying to experience. Now, the good thing about the High Priestess is that she also reminds us to pay attention to the signs and the synchronicities that show up for us, especially anything money related. So really keep your mind and your heart open, because for those of you who are seeking answers as it relates to your financial and your money situation, the High Priestess tells us that those answers will come, and they are definitely on the way, and you will know and you will recognize them as such. All right, Cancer, let's continue on and see what else shows up for you. As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of April 2021. All right, as we move into the second half of April, Cancer, looks like you're going to be struggling with the decision here. Now, this Two of Swords fell onto our creative mastermind here, right? The creative alchemist, Like I say, the divine developer. And because you are so creative and you are doing the work, it's going to make it to where you're going to have to make a decision, right? Do you stay going in that direction, or do you do something different? You're going to have to really sit and figure this out. You're going to have to weigh the pros and cons, and you're going to have to really be discerning when you decide what your next move is going to be, especially as it relates to your money, to your work, to your career. The Two of Swords tells us it's not an easy decision, but yet it is a decision that has to be made. So just be gentle with yourself. Trust that you'll know everything you need to know in order to be well equipped to make the decision, and then have total confidence that you will make the right decision for you right now. Next, we have the Justice card. Now, it's interesting because the Justice card is also a card of decision making. However, this is a decision being made in your favor. So while you have to make a decision here, there's already a decision being made in your favor. And I'm not feeling like these two are related. However, they could be because they're right next to each other. But intuitively, I'm feeling like there's a decision being made in your favor. And because it's such a good thing, it's really kind of putting you in a position where it's like, wow, you know, it's almost like, do I stay in my job that I really, really like? Or do I take this job that sounds really, really good, but I know nothing, you know, about it because it's all going to be new and different? It's one of those kind of situations, right, where you really have to kind of up-level yourself, and you are going to have to challenge yourself because now you're making decisions from a different vantage point in your life. Three of Wands talks about future planning, and the thing about future planning is that this is all going to be well and good, again, because a decision's being made in your favor, and I'm inclined to say that this is going to be a good financial decision for so many of you. It's going to shine a new light on your future. You know, you're going to have to start maybe thinking about planning ahead, planning for retirement, maybe planning for your kids' college, maybe planning to buy your first home. Whatever the case may be, it's definitely going to be a positive, fun time of planning, right? This is very exciting. The thing is, though, we have to be very careful. The Strength card in the reverse is a card of burnout. Sometimes it's also the card of being weak. Now, this could be physically weak, but it also could mean mentally, spiritually, or emotionally weak. You're going to have to really examine where you're at, Cancer, and figure out how this applies. Now, you know, most of us know what our weaknesses is or are. And if we don't, then this is something that we do need to spend time and do some soul searching and figure it out. When it comes to money, what are your strengths? What are you good at? And what are you not good at? When it comes to your work or your career or your business, what are the things that you excel at and what are the things that you don't excel at? And you have to be very aware of that, because when you try to kind of go in a direction where you're not good, you can end up causing a lot of problems for yourself, right? So if you know you're no good at graphic design, go ahead and hire a graphic designer, okay? You know, it's like, spend the money. Don't try to take on that. Don't try to do it yourself. Because number one, if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to look like crap. And number two, you're going to waste a lot of time when you could have just paid someone however much and then had the job done and have it looking beautiful and flawless. Finally, we have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords in the reverse talks about things. There's going to be some hiccups along the way when it comes to probably your finances, or maybe your business, or maybe your work. Not that it's going to be something horrendous, but things probably just won't go as smoothly as you thought. Now, the other thing about the Ace of Swords is that it means that something gets kind of dismissed, or something gets discontinued that you weren't expecting. Because remember, the swords is that cutting away energy. It's about removing things with the swiftness, but it also talks about bringing things in with the swiftness too, because other things, we're removing things, so we're like creating space for things to come our way. So when we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse, the Ace of Swords is all about breakthroughs, but at the same time, sometimes things kind of get stagnant along the way, and there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to kind of roll with it. Next we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is the card of luxury, one of my favorite cards in the deck. The Nine of Pentacles talks about when she shows up in the reverse, we have to be careful that we're not doing any unnecessary spending. Okay, we have to be careful that we're not spending frivolously, and that we're not overspending, and that we're not impulse shopping. I don't know if that's something. I'm not picking up that this is something that's for a lot of you, but I do know that there are some of you who may be caught up in that. So just be very, very careful that you're not getting caught up in impulse buys and impulse shopping. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. For the month of April 2021. All right. Now, I already talked about this Tower card here. We have a repeater, right? So you're still rebuilding here. You're still in the rebuild phase of whatever it is in your finances that needs to be rebuilt, right? If you need to rebuild your savings, if you need to rebuild your business, if you need to reconstruct your resume because you're trying to look for a new job, if you're trying to rebuild your portfolio for your investments, well, whatever the case may be, you're going to have to figure that out. And it looks like by the time we close out April, you're still going to be working on that, which is totally normal. It's a work in progress for all of us. So just be gentle with yourself, and understand that it's a journey, and everybody goes through it, and you're doing the best you can with what you have. Next is the Queen of Pentacles. Now this is the cautious money energy card, right? She's not one who does anything rash. Yeah, that's the right word, right? Rash. She doesn't make these rushed or, impulse decisions. The Queen of Pentacles is a very conservative energy. She's a very conservative investor. She's a very conservative spender. Now, the thing, when she is in the reverse, sometimes this shows us that maybe we didn't be so conservative on this last thing. But you just have to be very, very guarded. You have to be very, very careful when it comes to certain purchases, certain investments. The other thing about the Queen of Pentacles, too, is that she's not someone who is very open about what she's doing with her money. And when she shows up in the reverse, sometimes that means that maybe you're talking a little bit too much about what you're doing with your money. Now, I know some of us like to talk with others who are in like a similar mindset, but be very, very careful with who you share your financial information with. And I'm not saying you're going to give someone all your account numbers and all that, but I'm just saying, sometimes people are not necessarily positive, and so you just want to be very, very careful that if you talk about your finances with someone, that someone, is, I guess I should say, has good intentions, or someone that you truly can trust. Six of Swords in the reverse talks about canceled trips. This has been happening for a lot of the signs too. I think a lot of people are postponing trips, postponing vacations, or they're not necessarily canceling their trips, but they're changing their trips. Maybe they're changing the date, maybe they're changing the hotel, changing the flight. Whatever the case may be, just look that for some of you who are traveling, changes are probably going to be happening at the end of April. Seven of Swords in the reverse talks about whatever was stolen from you is going to be restored. Now, some of you may have had things taken away from you, or literally stolen from you, or just removed from you unfairly. Just know that karmic law is always in effect, and that whatever it was that was wrongfully taken from you will be restored and re-given to you. It may not necessarily be from the same source that removed whatever it was, but that like I said, whatever comes around goes around, and that if something was, you were wronged in some way, The universe is working to make that right, and you are going to be blessed. And because we're talking in the sense of money, this is definitely a financial blessing for you in some way. Next we have the Five of Swords. Sometimes communication is a little bit one-sided, and I'm feeling like this is what's going on here, especially for those of you who work or you have conversations with colleagues, co-workers, managers, customers, clients, business partners. Try not to force any conversations, okay? Anything that relates to your work, to your money, to your finances. If someone is not open and willing to talk with you, don't force the issue. You know, kind of let it go for a little while and revisit the conversation at a later time, because sometimes from what I'm picking up here is that some of you are going to have conversations and the other party is not going to be very receptive. Finally, we have the Fool. The Fool in the reverse position talks about not being too naive and not being informed when you're starting off on a new adventure. You're on a new journey. You're on a new path, right? So try not to be too anxious. Try not to be too overly excited. You know, pay attention and always be very guarded with your intentions and what you're trying to do. And be very, very careful. That's the biggest thing I'm taking away from this Fool in the reverse, is that we have to be very careful when we are starting new things. And we do have some new journeys and some new experiences coming our way, right? Like I said, don't be overly anxious. Just, you know, just chill and, you know, educate and inform yourself as best you can, and then move forward confidently. So Cancer, you've got a pretty good month, right? You do. You really, really do. Like I said, I see good blessing. I see blessings coming your way, alignment with spirit. I see good decisions being made here. Creativity is flowing. You've got a really good month, okay? So, you know, feel good about April. It's definitely working in your favor. Oh, okay. So, closing out your reading, Cancer, with a Angels of Abundance Oracle card. And this one says, pay yourself first. Make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have savings to invest in your present and your future. Yes, yes, yes. This is so true. Pay yourself first. I learned this concept years ago, and it has never failed me. Even to this day, this is something I practice every time money comes my way. So I hope this was helpful for you, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, drop them down below. And I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. We'll definitely do it all again next month.